You remember the person you were meant to be. There are moments you can still feel him. The one with the fire in his eyes. The one whose standards were absolute. The one who was unstoppable. But then you look in the mirror today, and the reflection doesn't quite match the memory. The fire is a little lower. The eyes are a little more tired. This isn't a public failure. It's a quiet, personal fall. The slow betrayal of yourself. And this comeback is the only way home. This is the truth about the fall. It rarely happens in one spectacular cinematic moment. It happens in silence. It's a death by 1,000 small compromises. It's the snooze button you hit this morning, which was a small surrender. It's the workout you skipped last week. It's the promise you made to yourself that you let slide. Each one on its own seems insignificant, a minor negotiation with your own standards, but they add up. And one day you wake up and realize you are at the bottom of a valley you dug yourself, one small shovel full of excuses at a time. The world may not even notice your fall. You might still have the job, the car, the life that looks good from the outside, but you know the truth. You feel it in the quiet moments. The gap between the man you present to the world and the man you are when you're alone, that gap has become a canyon. And inside that canyon lives a quiet shame, a deep knowing that you are operating at a fraction of your true potential. This is why the comeback must be personal. Because no one else can even see the battlefield. This war is not for a trophy, a title, or the applause of a crowd who never knew you were fighting. This is a war for your soul. It is a battle to close that canyon, to bridge the gap between who you have allowed yourself to become and the man you were always meant to be. This is not about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about honoring the memory of that person you used to be, the one with the fire, and making a promise to him that he was not a temporary phase. He is the standard. Your comeback is the grueling, day-by-day process of earning back your own respect. It's about facing the man in the mirror, not with anger, but with a cold, hard resolve and saying, the compromises end today. The betrayal stops now. The work required is not for public consumption. It is done in the dark. It is the fifth set in the gym when your body has already given up. It's the extra hour of work after everyone else has gone home. It's the book you read while others are watching TV. It's a series of 1,000 small, unseen victories that begin to accumulate, slowly rebuilding the foundation of your character. Each act of discipline is a direct refusal to be the man you were yesterday. This journey is a lonely one. It has to be, because it's a conversation between only two people, the man you are now and the man you are fighting to become. There is no room for outside opinions. There is no need for external validation. The only proof you need is the progress you see in the mirror. But to begin this climb, to start laying the first stone of your new foundation, you cannot be standing on soft ground. You cannot start from a place of comfort or illusion. The journey back to your highest self must begin at your lowest point, not the world's definition of rock bottom, but your own. To truly come back, you must first have the courage to face the absolute truth of your fall, without illusion or excuse. The comeback begins the moment you finally look down at the bottom you've created for yourself and decide you are no longer willing to live there. So you have made the decision. You have looked at the man in the mirror, at the bottom of the valley you created for yourself, and you have chosen to stop digging. This is the most important decision of your life, but the desire to climb is not enough. Before you can build, you must understand the ground you are building on. You must understand the strange and terrible power of the place you now find yourself. You must understand the gift of rock bottom. This may sound like a contradiction. We are taught to fear this place above all others. It represents the ultimate failure, the absolute end. But that is the perspective of the person who is still falling. While you were falling in that slow, compromising descent we spoke of, you were in a state of denial and quiet panic. You were trying to grab onto anything to slow the fall, telling yourself it wasn't so bad. But rock bottom is the moment you finally hit the ground. The falling is over. The terrifying uncertainty of the descent is finished. For the first time in a long, long time, you have something solid beneath your feet. It is hard, it is cold, and it is uncomfortable. But it is real. And on this real, solid ground, you can finally begin to build. Rock bottom is a gift because it is a place of absolute, brutal, and liberating clarity. It is a cleansing fire that burns away all of the illusions you were hiding behind. The first illusion to be burned away is the illusion of control. You are here because your old methods, your old systems, your old standards failed. You have to admit, with no room for argument, that you were not in control. Your ego, the part of you that whispered you could get away with the compromises, is shattered. It is a profoundly humbling experience, and in this humility, a space is created. A cup that is full of pride and ego cannot be filled with new wisdom. Rock bottom empties your cup. It makes you teachable. It makes you open. It forces you to seek a new way, because it has proven beyond any doubt that your old way was a path to ruin. The next illusion to vanish is the illusion of external validation. When you are at your lowest, the crowd disappears. The fair weather friends, the superficial admirers, they are gone. The silence they leave behind is deafening, and at first it feels like a curse. But it is a blessing, because it forces you to stop looking outward for your sense of worth. There is no one left to impress. There is no one left to perform for. You are truly alone, and in this solitude you are forced to find a strength that does not depend on the applause or approval of others. You learn to be your own source of validation. This is the beginning of unshakable self-reliance. Finally, rock bottom destroys the most dangerous illusion of all, the illusion of good enough. The comfortable lie that your mediocrity was acceptable is annihilated. You can no longer pretend that your small surrenders don't matter. You are surrounded by the undeniable evidence of their consequences. There are no more excuses to hide behind. There is no more soft language to describe your situation. It is just you, the cold ground, and the stark, unfiltered truth of your choices. It is from this empty, honest place that a new motivation is born. Not the fleeting excitement of a new goal, but a far more primal force: hunger. It is the desperate, animalistic hunger to simply stand up, to breathe again, to fight your way back into the light. This hunger is the purest fuel for a comeback, because it is not tainted by the desire for a trophy, for fame, or for revenge. It is the simple, profound, and powerful will to survive and to rise. This is the foundation, a foundation of truth, humility, and hunger. Now, from this solid ground, you must take the first strategic action. You must conduct a brutal audit of your downfall. You must become a ruthless detective of your own failure. You cannot be emotional about this. It must be a cold, forensic examination. You must take out a piece of paper, and you must write down every single compromise, every bad habit, every broken promise to yourself, and every small surrender that led you to this moment. You must map the anatomy of your own weakness. Did it start with the snooze button? Write it down. Did it continue with the junk food you ate because you were stressed? Write it down. Was it the mindless hours you spent scrolling on your phone instead of working on your future? Write it down. Be specific. Be merciless. This is not an act of self-pity. This is the act of a general studying the battlefield before a war. You cannot defeat an enemy you do not name. You cannot win a war against a shadow. You must bring your weaknesses into the light and look them in the eye. The audit is complete. The map of your weakness is laid out before you. For the first time, you see the enemy clearly, and the enemy is you. Now you must make a choice. You must draw a line in the sand of your own rock bottom. You must forge a new code, a single, unbreakable promise that will serve as the first stone in the foundation of your new life. This is the forging of your personal contract. The audit is complete. The map of your downfall is laid out before you in stark, unflinching detail. You have looked the enemy in the eye, and you have realized the enemy is you. It is the collection of your past compromises, your tolerated weaknesses, and your broken promises to yourself. Now, from this place of brutal honesty, the real work begins. You must draw a line in the sand, not with a wish, not with a hope, but with a declaration. You must forge a new code to live by. This is your personal contract. This contract is the single most important document you will ever create. It is a binding agreement between the man you are today, kneeling in the ashes of his old life, and the man you are determined to become. It is the constitution for your new existence. Let's be clear about what this contract is not. It is not a New Year's resolution. Resolutions are fragile. They are wishes written in the fleeting language of motivation, and they shatter at the first sign of real-world resistance. This contract is different. It is not born from inspiration. It is born from the profound, burning pain of rock bottom. It is fueled by the raw hunger to never, ever return to this place. This contract is not a list of outcomes. It will not say, I will be a millionaire, or I will be famous. Those are results, and results are not entirely within your control. This contract is about what you can control. It is not about what you will have. It is about who you will be. It governs your actions, your standards, and your identity. Finally, this contract is not for public consumption. You will not post about it. You will not tell your friends about your new rules. You will not seek validation or applause for it. Its power is in its secrecy. It is a sacred vow between you and you. To speak of it to others is to dilute its power. To turn a sacred oath into a performance. You will let your actions, and only your actions, announce the signing of this new agreement. Now let's forge the clauses. Take out a piece of paper. This must be a physical act, not just a thought. Clause I. The non-negotiables. This is your code of action. Look at the map of your weaknesses from your audit. For every major weakness, you will create a non-negotiable action that is its direct antidote. Choose 3 to 5. These are the pillars of your new life. If your weakness was laziness in the morning, your non-negotiable is, I will rise at 5 a.m. every day. This is not a choice, it is a law. If your weakness was physical neglect, your non-negotiable is, I will engage in 1 hour of intense physical suffering every day. My body is not my master, it is my instrument. If your weakness was mindless distraction, your non-negotiable is, I will dedicate 1 hour to focus deep work on my mission with no interruptions. My focus is a weapon, and I will sharpen it daily. The key to this clause is that these actions are no longer up for debate. You remove your feelings from the equation entirely. The decision is made, once and for all. You simply execute. Clause 2. The zero tolerance policy. This is your code of elimination. A comeback is as much about what you stop doing as what you start doing. This clause is where you declare war on your old self. You must be specific. You must be merciless. Look at your audit. What were the triggers? The small surrenders that started the landslide. Your policy might read, I have a zero tolerance policy for the snooze button. It is the voice of weakness, and I will not listen. It might read, I have a zero tolerance policy for blaming others or circumstances. I am the sole author of my life. Or I have a zero tolerance policy for mindless scrolling. My time is my most valuable asset, and it will be invested, not wasted. This clause builds the walls of your new fortress. It defines the territory where your old self is no longer welcome. Clause the third, the identity clause. This is your code of being. This is the most powerful clause of all. Actions are what you do, but identity is who you are. You must stop seeing yourself as a person trying to change. You must start seeing yourself as the person you are becoming. You will write this clause in the present tense. Not, I will try to be disciplined, but I am a disciplined man. Not, I want to be the kind of person who keeps his word, but I am the man who keeps his promises to himself. I am an athlete. I am a writer. I am the man who does hard things, especially when I don't feel like it. This is not an affirmation. It is a declaration of fact. From this moment on, you will act in accordance with this new identity. When faced with a choice, you will not ask, what do I want to do? You will ask, what would a disciplined man do? And you will do that. Now write these clauses down. Read them aloud. This is your code. The final step is to sign it. This is your ritual, the ceremony of one. You are signing a binding agreement with your own potential, with the man in the mirror. You are the only two parties in this agreement, and you are the only one who will know if you break it. Place this contract where you will see it every morning when you wake and every night before you sleep. The bathroom mirror is a good place. It will become your daily reminder. The first and last thing you see, a constant testament to the promise you made to yourself in your darkest hour. The contract is signed. The promise is made. But the ink is not yet dry. A contract is meaningless until it is tested by the fire of reality. The war for your comeback is not won in a lifetime. It is won in a single day, repeated over and over again. And the first battle begins tomorrow, at dawn. The battle for day one. The contract is signed. The words stare back at you from the page, a testament to the promise you made to yourself in the ruins. There is a strange electricity in the air on the eve of battle, a mix of fear and a quiet, violent excitement. The ghosts of your past are whispering. They remind you of every other day one that ended by noon, every other promise that dissolved at the first sign of discomfort. They are betting on your failure. They believe they know you. Tonight you will prove them wrong. Before you sleep, you prepare for war. You lay out your gym clothes. You fill your water bottle. You place the book you will read on the table. You remove every possible point of friction, every potential excuse that your weaker self could use for negotiation in the morning. You are preparing the battlefield to favor your victory. This is not about hope. It is about strategy. You go to sleep not with a wish, but with an order you have given to yourself. When the alarm sounds, you will rise. The sound shatters the darkness. 5 a.m. It is the opening shot of the war. For a single eternal moment, the battle hangs in the balance. Your body is a 1,000-pound weight of comfort and warmth. Your mind, still clouded with sleep, is a swamp of weakness. The old voice, the one you have obeyed for years, begins its attack. It is a master of negotiation. Just 5 more minutes. You need the rest. It's still dark. It's cold. This is pointless. Who are you trying to be? You can start tomorrow. Tomorrow will be easier. This is the moment. This is where every past failure was born. In this single moment of hesitation. But this time, you have the contract. You have the code. You do not negotiate with weakness. You do not reason with the enemy. You execute. In one violent, decisive motion, you throw the covers off. Your feet hit the cold floor. It is a shock to the system. It is meant to be. You are standing. The alarm is off. The house is silent. You have won the first engagement. A quiet, fierce pride flows through you. It is the first piece of evidence that the man who signed the contract last night is the same man who is standing here today. The promise holds. You do not think. You move to the next objective. The physical suffering. As you begin your workout, the second wave of resistance attacks. Your body remembers its old life of ease. The muscles burn. The lungs scream for air. Every cell in your body begs you to stop. The voice returns. This is too hard. You're not ready for this. You should have started slower. Just finish this set and call it a day. That's good enough. It is the voice of good enough that built your prison of mediocrity. You must crush it. You refer back to your contract, burned into your mind. Clause the 3rd. I am the man who does hard things. You are not aspiring to be this person. According to the contract you signed, you already are. So you act in accordance with your new identity. You push for one more rep, then another. You embrace the pain. You learn to interpret the burn of your muscles, not as a signal to stop, but as the feeling of weakness leaving your body. You finish the workout. You are exhausted. You are sore. And you are victorious. You are now 2-0 against your old self. Now for the 3rd engagement, the mental fortitude. You sit down to do the focused work, the book, the project, the skill. Immediately your mind begins to itch. It craves a distraction. It begs for the easy dopamine of your phone, a news feed, anything other than the discomfort of deep focus. This is the addiction of your old life, crying out for a fix. Your mind is a spoiled child, demanding entertainment. You deny it. You suffer through the first 10 minutes of agonizing boredom. You force your attention back to the task, again and again. You are not just reading a book or working on a project. You are training your mind. You are forging the superpower of the modern world, the ability to focus. You complete the hour. The 3rd victory is yours. Look at the clock. It might be 6:30 a.m. The rest of the world is just starting to hit the snooze button for the second time. But you are already 3-0. You have won a war before most people have even woken up. This is the power of winning day one. It is not just about the tasks you completed. It is about the psychological tsunami of momentum you have created. You have built a win streak. You have a new standard to protect. This feeling of quiet, earned power will carry you through the rest of the day. It will make it easier to choose the healthy meal over the junk food. It will make it easier to speak with confidence. It will make it easier to say no to things that do not serve your mission. You have proven to yourself, with undeniable action, that the contract is real, that the new identity is real. You have won the day. You have proven it is possible. But be warned, the victory of day one brings with it a new, more subtle enemy. An enemy that disguises itself as a reward, that whispers you've earned a rest, that tells you the war is over. The enemy of complacency. Now the real test begins, the war of attrition. You have won the day. The sun is rising, and you are already 3-0 against the man you were yesterday. A feeling of power, of quiet, fierce pride is coursing through you. It's a feeling you haven't felt in a long, long time. It is the feeling of control, the feeling of a promise kept. This feeling is a powerful reward, and it is also the most dangerous drug in the world. Because your old self, the whisper of comfort you defeated in the darkness, is a masterful strategist. It knows it cannot win a direct, head-on battle against this new, energized version of you. So it changes tactics. It will no longer try to stop you with the voice of fear. It will try to sabotage you with the voice of congratulations. This is the new enemy, the one that arrives after a victory, an enemy that disguises itself as a reward, that whispers you've earned a rest, that tells you the hardest part is over. This is the enemy of complacency. Complacency is the silent killer of all comebacks. It is the subtle loosening of the grip you fought so damn hard to get. It's the belief that because you won yesterday's war, you are entitled to a peacetime today. But there is no peacetime. Not yet. You are on enemy soil. You are surrounded. The man you used to be is not dead. He is just wounded, waiting for you to lower your guard. Complacency is what turns a victory into a fluke. It breaks the chain of momentum. It reintroduces the one thing your contract was designed to eliminate: negotiation. It attacks in three primary forms. You must learn to recognize them, to anticipate them, and to destroy them on sight. The first is the reward mentality. The voice in your head, the ghost of your comfort-seeking self, will whisper, "You were a warrior this morning. You earned a reward. Eat the pizza, skip the evening work, binge the show. You deserve it." This logic seems sound, but it is a trap. The work itself is the reward. The feeling of pride after executing your contract is the prize. The knowledge that you are in control is the victory. These external rewards are cheap comforts. They are poison disguised as medicine. They are a step back into the very world you just fought to escape. You must learn to find more satisfaction in the discipline than in the indulgence. You must rewire your brain to crave the feeling of a promise kept more than the fleeting pleasure of a promise broken. The real reward is not the escape from the work. It is the person you are becoming through the work. The second form of attack is the confidence trap. After a few days of winning, you will start to feel powerful, confident. The voice will change its tune. It will say, "You've got this. This is easy now. You don't need to try so hard." This overconfidence is the enemy of excellence. It will lead you to cut corners. Maybe you wake up at 5:05 a.m. instead of 5 A small compromise. Maybe you give 80% in your workout instead of 100%. A small negotiation. Maybe you let yourself get distracted for 10 minutes during your hour of deep work. A small surrender. You must fight this with a mindset of paranoia. Adopt the mantra, day one, every day. Treat every single morning as if it is the first battle all over again. Your victory yesterday is irrelevant. It is ancient history. It guarantees you nothing today. You must stay hungry. You must respect the enemy that lives inside you, because he is always there, waiting for you to get comfortable. The third and most relentless form of attack is the fluctuation of feelings. On day one, you felt like a titan. The motivation was high, the victory was glorious. But on day 4 or day 10, you will wake up and feel nothing. You will feel tired, sore, bored. The emotional high will be gone. The novelty will have worn off. The voice will seize this opportunity. It will whisper, "See, it's not working anymore. The magic is gone. This is just a chore. Why are you even doing this?" This is the moment of truth. This is where 99% of people fail. They mistake the absence of motivation for a sign to quit. You must learn the most important lesson of this entire comeback. The process is not emotional. It is mechanical. You must sever the connection between how you feel and what you do. Your feelings are irrelevant. They are clouds passing in the sky. But your contract is the bedrock beneath your feet. Your job is not to feel like a warrior. Your job is to show up and do the warrior's work, especially on the days you feel least like it. That is the definition of discipline. And discipline is the engine of the comeback. To fight this long, grinding war of attrition, you need a weapon, a tool to keep you honest. Your new weapon is a simple calendar and a pen. At the end of every day that you successfully execute every clause of your contract, you will draw a big, thick, brutal X over that day. Your only goal is to forge a chain of these X's, one after another, a visual representation of your win streak, and you will adopt one simple, non-negotiable rule. You do not break the chain. This simple act is more powerful than any feeling. On the day you feel tired and weak, you will look at the calendar. You will see the chain of 7 or 10 or 30 days of victory, and the pain of breaking that chain will become greater than the pain of doing the work. You are no longer just fighting for today. You are fighting to protect yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. You are honoring the sacrifices your past self made. The chain is growing. You are learning the art of consistency. You are surviving the war of attrition. But a soldier who only focuses on the mud and the trenches, on the daily grind of the fight, can eventually lose sight of what he is fighting for. The chain is a powerful tool, but it is not a purpose. To win a long war, you must constantly be reminded of the beautiful, free world you are fighting to build. You need more than just the fear of breaking the chain. You need the pull of a glorious future. You must learn to weaponize your vision. The chain is growing. Day by day, X by X, you are forging a new reality. You are proving, with cold hard evidence, that you are capable of keeping a promise to yourself. This is the war of attrition, and you are surviving it. But survival is not the mission. Victory is. A soldier who only ever looks down at the mud in the trenches will eventually forget why he is fighting. The daily grind, the discipline, the contract. These are the mechanics of the war. They are the how. They are essential, but they are joyless on their own. Without a grander vision, discipline becomes a prison of its own. To win a long war, you need more than the fear of breaking the chain behind you. You need the magnetic pull of a glorious future in front of you. The chain is the force that pushes you away from the man you were. The vision is the force that pulls you toward the man you are becoming. A comeback requires both. You must learn to weaponize your vision. Forget the vague, childish dreams of the past. Forget the lottery ticket fantasies of a life without effort. We are not building a dream. We are building a reality in your mind, so vivid, so detailed, and so powerful that it becomes a blueprint for your actions. This is the next stage of your training. Every morning, immediately after you have won your first victory against the alarm clock, you will dedicate 10 minutes to this ritual. This is not negotiable. It is part of your new protocol. You will find a quiet place. You will close your eyes, and you will build your future self. Do not think in terms of material things. A big house or a fast car are just hollow shells. They are the byproducts, not the essence. You must build the man. See him, not as a stranger, but as the real you, the one who has been waiting. How does he walk into a room? He doesn't shuffle with uncertainty. He doesn't carry the weight of his past failures. He moves with a quiet, deliberate confidence. His posture is straight. His shoulders are back. He owns the ground he walks on because he has earned it. How does he speak? His voice is calm, measured. He doesn't speak to fill silence. He doesn't speak to seek approval. He listens more than he talks, and when he speaks, his words have weight. They are honest. They are direct. There is no hint of desperation or apology in his tone. How does he look? Look at his eyes. This is the most important part. See the clarity there. See the focus. The shame you see in the mirror today is gone. The doubt is gone. In its place is an unbreakable calm. It is the look of a man who has faced his own demons and won. The look of a man who has earned his own respect. Now, place this man in a scenario of chaos, a crisis at work, a moment of high pressure. See how he responds. The world is panicking, but he is the calm center of the storm. He does not react emotionally. He observes, he thinks, and he acts with decisive precision. He is anti-fragile. The pressure does not break him, it sharpens him. This is the man you are fighting for. This 10-minute ritual is not a daydream. It is a mental rehearsal. You are priming your mind and body for the reality you are creating. You are giving your daily suffering a purpose. When you are in the gym, feeling the searing pain of the final set, you are not just lifting weights. You are forging the body of the man in your vision. When you are fighting the urge to procrastinate, you are not just doing work. You are sharpening the mind of the man in your vision. Every act of discipline becomes a direct, tangible deposit into the bank account of your future self. The suffering is no longer a punishment. It is the price you are gladly paying to become him. This is your fuel for the war of attrition. On the days when you are tired, when the chain feels like a burden, when the whisper of comfort tells you that this is all pointless, you will close your eyes and you will see him. He will remind you that the pain of today is the power of tomorrow. He will remind you that the sacrifices are not for nothing. He is waiting for you. All you have to do is keep walking. This practice will change you in ways you cannot yet imagine. As you hold this vision in your mind day after day, and your actions align with it, you will begin to close the gap. You will start to walk like him. You will start to speak like him. You will start to think like him. You will begin to pull that future reality into your present moment. The chain is your anchor to the present. The vision is your compass to the future. You now have the tools for a long and brutal war. You are building yourself in the dark, day by day, fueled by a vision of the light. But a sword is not truly tested until it meets another blade. A warrior is not truly forged until he is tested in the arena. The solitary work is the foundation, but the comeback is not complete until your new strength is proven against real-world resistance. It is time to prepare to step out of the monastery. It is time to step back into the fight. You are not the same man who began this journey. The man who started was on his knees at rock bottom. The man who stands today is forged in discipline, guided by a contract, and fueled by a vivid, powerful vision of his own potential. You have been living in a self-imposed monastery, a forge where the only sounds were the clang of iron and the steady beat of your own heart. But the purpose of the forge is not to create a beautiful sword that will be kept in the dark. The purpose is to create a weapon that can win a war. The solitary work is the foundation. It is everything. But the comeback is not complete until the strength you have built in private is tested in the public arena. It is time to step back into the world. This is not a return. You are not going back to your old life. You are a different person, and you will engage with the world on entirely new terms. Your old life was one of reaction. You were pulled by the currents of social pressure, distraction, and the desires of others. Your new life will be one of intention. You are no longer a ship at the mercy of the waves. You are the captain, and you will choose your course. Before you step out of the monastery doors, you must understand the new rules of engagement. Rule number 1, you are not seeking approval. Let this sink in. Your purpose for re-engaging with the world is not to show off your progress. It is not to get a pat on the back. It is not to make your critics eat their words. Your purpose is to seek resistance. You are a scientist, and your new self is the experiment. You are going out into the world to collect data. Is the discipline real? Does the confidence hold under pressure? Does the focus remain sharp amidst the noise? You are there to test your armor, to find its weak points, and to come back to the forge to strengthen them. Rule number 2. You control the environment. You do not wander aimlessly back into the places and situations that contributed to your downfall. That is a fool's errand. You are the general of this campaign. You choose the time, you choose the place, and you choose the battles you are willing to fight. You will engage from a position of strength, not from a position of nostalgia or obligation. Rule number 3. Your protocol is your shield. Your non-negotiable daily contract is not something you relax, now that you are re-engaging. It is the very source of your power. The morning victories you achieve in the dark are what fill your cup. They are the armor you put on before you walk out the door. Without them, you are walking into the arena unprotected. The protocol is your anchor in the chaos of the world. It is the one thing that is entirely yours, a daily reminder of who you are and what you are building. Now, you are ready for the first test, the arena of others. You will inevitably find yourself in a situation with people from your past, people who only know the old you. They will try to pull you back into that comfortable, familiar version of yourself. The test will come as a simple offer. Have a drink. Just relax for once. Skip the gym tomorrow. You've been working so hard. In the past, you would have negotiated. You would have made an excuse. You would have given in. Now, you will be presented with the first opportunity to test the strength of your new will. The test is the simple, powerful, and unapologetic word no. Not, oh, I can't, I have to. Just a calm, firm, no, I'm good. Every time you do this, you are sending a powerful signal to yourself and to the world. You are reinforcing your new identity. Each no to them is a resounding yes to your contract, a yes to the man in your vision. The second test in this arena is the test of silence. People will notice you have changed. They will ask questions. What have you been up to? You seem different. The temptation will be to explain, to preach, to justify your new path, to try and make them understand the war you have been fighting. You must resist this temptation. Your comeback is personal. It is not a topic for casual conversation. To explain it is to seek their approval, and you have already risen above that need. You will answer vaguely, I've been focused on some things, just working hard, trying to get better. You will be an enigma. You will let your actions and the results of those actions do all the talking for you. This quiet, mysterious confidence is infinitely more powerful than any sermon you could preach. After you have passed these social tests, you are ready for the second arena, the arena of professional risk. It is time to place a real-world bet on the new you. This is not a reckless gamble. This is a single, calculated, deliberate risk that your old self would have been too paralyzed by fear to take. Volunteer for the project at work that everyone else is avoiding. Make the one sales call that terrifies you. Finally, write and publish the first article. The goal here is not to succeed. The goal is to act. The victory is not in the outcome. It is in the act of taking the risk itself. It is the ultimate proof that you are no longer a prisoner of the fear of failure. Whether the project succeeds or fails is irrelevant. The fact that you had the courage to step into the arena and risk failure is everything. That is the win. That is the data you were looking for. The armor holds. You have proven you can stand in the arena. You have proven you can fight. You have proven your new strength is real. But now, a real blow is coming. Sooner or later, the world will land a clean shot, a setback that will knock you to one knee. This is not the failure of your past that put you at rock bottom. This is a new kind of pain. This is the test of your future. And how you handle the agony of this new fall will determine everything. It happens. Sooner or later, the world lands a clean shot. Despite your discipline, despite your vision, despite all the hard work you have done in the dark, you get hit. The project you poured your soul into fails. The promotion goes to someone else. The investment collapses. You take a calculated risk and it blows up in your face. A wave of sickening, white-hot pain washes over you. This is not the dull, chronic ache of rock bottom. This is the sharp, brutal agony of a fresh wound. It is the pain of a fighter who has been knocked to one knee. And in this moment, a new and more dangerous battle begins. At rock bottom, you had nothing to lose. This made you fearless. But now you have something to lose. You have your momentum. You have your chain of victories. You have the fragile beginnings of a new identity. And the voice of your old self, the ghost you thought you had weakened, sees its opportunity. It rises up and it screams in your ear. See, I told you, you're still a failure. All that work was for nothing. You are the same person you always were. Nothing has changed. It's pointless. You should just quit now and save yourself the embarrassment. What you do in the 24 hours following this blow will determine whether your comeback was a genuine transformation or just a temporary streak of good luck. This is the crossroads. Down one path is the reaction of your old self. It leads to shame, to blaming the world, and to a full-scale retreat back to the familiar prison of the comfort zone. But there is another path, the path of the warrior. It is not a reaction, it is a protocol. A calm, deliberate, and strategic response to failure. You will learn this protocol now. Step 1. The rule of zero complaints. For the first 24 hours after the setback, you are forbidden from complaining. You will not vent to your friends. You will not post about your misfortune. You will not curse the heavens for the injustice of it all. To complain is to cast yourself as the victim. It is to give your power away. It is an emotional release that weakens your resolve. Instead, you will do the hardest thing imaginable. You will sit with the raw, unfiltered pain in silence. You will feel its full weight. You will let it burn. This is the first act of extreme ownership. The pain is here. It is real. And it is yours. Step 2. The tactical retreat. This does not mean you quit the war. It means you strategically withdraw from the external battlefield to regroup. You do not make any rash decisions. You do not fire off the angry email. You do not burn the bridge. You retreat to your monastery, to the forge. That day, and the next, you double down on your personal contract with a vengeance. You wake up at 5 a.m., you go to the gym, and you wage absolute war on the iron, channeling your pain and frustration into productive physical suffering. You execute your hour of deep work with ferocious intensity. You control the things you can control. When the external world delivers chaos, you respond by creating an unbreakable fortress of internal order. This reestablishes your foundation. It reminds you in a visceral, physical way that you are still the commander of your own soul, even if you just lost a battle. Step 3. The forensic audit. After the initial 24 hours of silence and disciplined action, you will conduct an audit. This is not the emotional audit you did at rock bottom, where you examined your character flaws. This is a cold, tactical, and unemotional audit of your strategy. You will become a detective of this specific failure. You will ask the hard questions. Where did the plan fail? Was it a failure of preparation? Did I underestimate the competition? Was it a failure of execution? Did I get complacent? Was it a miscalculation of the risk? Was my strategy flawed from the beginning? You must be brutally honest. Your ego has no place in this room. You must extract the lesson. The pain you are feeling is the price you paid for a piece of invaluable wisdom. If you do not find and integrate that wisdom, then you suffered for nothing. You must turn this setback from a verdict into a brutally effective teacher. This is the great reframing of failure. A comeback is not a perfect, uninterrupted line rising from the ashes. That is a fantasy. A real comeback is a messy, brutal, sawtooth pattern of progress. It is a series of climbs, falls, lessons, and renewed attacks. A setback is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is a sign that you are in the damn arena. It is a sign that you are pushing your limits, taking real risks, and engaging in fights that matter. The only person who never fails is the person sitting safely in the stands, the one who never had the courage to step onto the field. Failure is the scar tissue of a life lived with courage. It is not a mark of shame, it is a mark of effort. You must learn to see these setbacks, not as a judgment on your worth, but as critical data. This data will make your next plan stronger, your next attack smarter, and your resolve harder. You have learned to fall and rise again, alone. You are becoming resilient. You are becoming anti-fragile. But as you continue to climb, as the battles get bigger and the stakes get higher, you will discover a profound truth. The solitary warrior is strong, but a brotherhood of warriors is unstoppable. The next evolution of your comeback is to find your new tribe, to find the few who understand the language of the fight. You have learned the anatomy of the setback. You have a protocol for pain. You have proven to yourself that a fall is not the end, but a lesson. You are becoming anti-fragile. This solitary strength is the bedrock of your new existence. The ability to rely on no one but yourself is a superpower. But the greatest lie the lone wolf tells himself is that he is strongest alone. The solitary warrior is powerful. He can survive the wilderness. He can win his own battles. But a brotherhood of warriors, they can conquer kingdoms. The next evolution of your comeback is the most dangerous and the most powerful. It is the transition from isolation to alliance. It is the forging of your new tribe. This is dangerous because your instinct, after being burned by the world, is to trust no one. And because the wrong people, the wrong circle, will drag you back down into the abyss faster than any personal failure ever could. Let's first speak of your old tribe. The friends, the colleagues, the family who were the audience to your previous life, the people who knew the weaker version of you. You cannot go back to them for your strength. They may be good people, they may love you, but they are the keepers of your old identity. To them, your transformation is a curiosity, or even a threat. They offer comfort, they offer nostalgia, they offer a return to the comfortable patterns that led you to rock bottom in the first place. They are the crabs in the bucket. To spend time with them is to invite their claws to pull you back down. Your comeback is personal, and you must protect it with your life. This means you must be ruthless about who you allow to have a voice in your head. Your new tribe is different. It is not a social club. It is a war council. It is not a circle you are born into. It is a circle you must earn your way into. It is a group forged not on shared history, but on a shared standard of excellence. There are 3 unbreakable laws for this new tribe. Law number 1, they must be in the arena. You will no longer seek advice, validation, or companionship from the spectators in the cheap seats. The members of your new circle must have their own metaphorical dust, sweat, and blood on their faces. They must be fighting their own wars, pursuing their own comebacks, building their own empires. They understand the language of the fight because they are fluent in it. When you speak of the pain of a setback, they don't offer you empty sympathy. They offer you earned perspective. When you speak of your ambition, they don't look at you with confusion. They look at you with recognition. You will know them because they do not have time for gossip or complaint. They are obsessed with the process of building. They are fellow warriors. Law number 2, their standard must be as high or higher than yours. This is the most critical law. You are, and will always be, the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your new tribe must be a force that pulls you up, not a comfortable couch that allows you to relax. When you enter their presence, you should feel a slight sense of intimidation, not because they are arrogant, but because their discipline, their focus, their relentless pursuit of their own potential is so palpable that it forces you to demand more from yourself. They will not co-sign your weakness. They will not validate your excuses. If you bring them a story of why you failed, they will be the ones to look you in the eye and ask the hard question. And what was your role in that? They will hold you to the standard you set for yourself, especially on the days you don't want to. Their very existence is a form of accountability. This is the meaning of the ancient proverb, iron sharpens iron. The process is not gentle. It is not comfortable. It creates friction. It creates sparks. But it makes both blades sharper. Law number 3, the currency is accountability, not comfort. Your old circle ran on the currency of comfort. It's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. You deserve a break. Your new tribe deals in only one currency, ruthless accountability. When you report a victory, They will give you a nod of respect, and then they will ask, "What's next?" They will not let you rest on your laurels. They will not let you get complacent. When you report a failure, they will not allow you to wallow in self-pity. They will expect you to have already done the audit, extracted the lesson, and formulated a new plan of attack. This circle is not a support group. It is a phalanx, a shield wall. Every warrior is responsible for holding his position because the man next to him is depending on it. So where do you find these people? You do not find them in the old places. You do not find them in the bars, the clubs, or the comfortable social gatherings designed to pass the time. You find them where the work is being done. You find them in the darkest corners of the gym at 5 a.m. You find them at the difficult seminar on a Saturday when everyone else is sleeping in. You find them in the entrepreneurial groups, the martial arts dojos, the libraries. You find them in the arena. And you do not approach them by asking for their friendship. You earn their respect through your actions. You show up consistently. You work harder than anyone else. You stay focused. You exude the quiet confidence of a man on a mission. Your discipline is your resume. Your work ethic is your introduction. They will see you. They will recognize the fire in your eyes because it matches their own. The conversation will happen naturally, built on a foundation of mutual, earned respect for the struggle. The circle is forged. The iron sharpens iron. You are no longer fighting alone. But this strength, this brotherhood, was not created for its own sake. It was not created for you to merely stand together as a monument to your own resilience. It was created to serve a higher purpose. The comeback is personal, but its ultimate expression is not. It is time to turn your united front outward and begin the work of building a legacy. The circle is forged. Iron sharpens iron. For the first time since your fall, you are not fighting alone. You have found the few who speak your new language, the language of discipline, accountability, and relentless forward motion. There is a profound peace in this, the warrior's peace, the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are not the only one on this path. The desperate hunger of rock bottom has been replaced by the calm, focused energy of a man on a mission, surrounded by his generals. And a question arises in this newfound peace. Is this it? Is this the summit? To be strong, to be disciplined, to be respected by a small circle of elite men? The answer is a resounding no. That is still a small victory. The strength you have built, the tribe you have forged, these are not the destination. They are the base camp from which the real expedition begins. The comeback was personal. It had to be. It was a selfish, brutal, and necessary journey into the self. But its ultimate expression is not selfish. It is the exact opposite. It is now time to turn this power you have earned outward. It is time to begin the work of building a legacy. Forget the old definition of legacy. It is not a statue in a park or a name on a building. Those are cold, dead things. A true legacy is a living thing. It is the ripple effect of your character. It is the standard you set, the strength you inspire, and the problems you solve. For the man who has clawed his way back from the abyss, legacy has a unique and powerful meaning. It is the ultimate act of alchemy. It is the process of taking your greatest failure, your deepest shame, the very thing that put you at rock bottom, and transforming it into your greatest asset. That pain you endured was not a curse. It was your tuition. And now you must use the wisdom you paid for in blood and sweat to serve the world. Your legacy will be built in 3 arenas. The first arena, your domain. This is your work, your craft, your profession. Before, you may have treated it as a job, a way to pay the bills. You did what was required. Now you will treat it as a battlefield for excellence. You will bring the same ferocious intensity that you bring to your 5 a.m. workout to every single task. You will apply the same non-negotiable standards of your personal contract to every project, every meeting, every interaction. You will stop doing the minimum. You will stop settling for good enough. You will become so damn good at what you do that your performance alone becomes a form of leadership. You will become the standard of excellence that makes everyone around you uncomfortable with their own mediocrity. Your legacy here is not the title you achieve. It is the quality of your work. and the silent, undeniable challenge you present to others to raise their own game. The second arena, your circle. This is your new tribe, the men who sharpen you. Your role in this circle must now evolve. You are not just there to receive accountability, you are there to provide it. You become the one who holds your brothers to the fire. You are the one who refuses to let them accept their own excuses. You will offer the hard truth, not the comfortable lie. You will share the brutal lessons from your own setbacks to help them navigate theirs. Your legacy here is the strength you build in the men around you. You become a force multiplier. By holding the line, you empower the entire phalanx. A lone warrior's victory is his own. A king's victory is measured by the strength of the men who stand beside him. You are no longer just a warrior, you are becoming a king. The third and most profound arena, your scars. You must go back to the place of your greatest pain. But this time, you do not return as a victim, you return as a guide. Look at the brutal audit you conducted at rock bottom. Look at the weaknesses that led to your fall. That is your sacred ground. That is where you have the most to offer the world. Did you battle a crippling addiction? Did you survive financial ruin? Did you overcome a devastating betrayal or a soul-crushing failure? Your legacy is to find one person, just one, who is lost in the exact same wilderness that almost destroyed you, and you will show them the way out. You will not offer them pity or easy advice. You will offer them your story. You will offer them your scars. You will offer them the living, breathing proof that the climb is possible. Your past suffering is no longer a source of shame. It is a map you can now use to guide others through the darkness. This is the final, beautiful purpose of your pain. It was never just about you. You had to go through that hell so that you could come back and rescue someone else from it. This is the great shift, the journey of the comeback. Up to this point has been a necessarily selfish act. It had to be about me, rebuilding me, saving me, strengthening me. But the legacy stage is the flip. It is the powerful, liberating shift from me to we. My strength for our mission, my lessons for your benefit, my pain for your salvation. This is the source of a fulfillment so deep and so profound that the cheap thrills of your old life of comfort become utterly meaningless. This is the why. You suffer to become strong enough to lift others. You are building your legacy. You are serving your purpose. You are standing with your brothers. It feels like the summit. It feels like peace. But the greatest warriors know the truth. There is no final summit. There is no end to the war. There is only the climb. The comeback is not a single chapter in your life. It is the book itself. And the final lesson is learning how to never stop writing it. You are standing in the arena, your circle of warriors beside you. You are building your legacy, turning your pain into purpose, your strength into service. The fire in your eyes is no longer the desperate flicker of a survivor, but the calm, steady flame of a leader. It feels like victory. It feels like the summit. And this is the final and most subtle trap of all. The human spirit craves a finish line. It craves a moment where the battle is finally over, where we can lay down our arms and say, I have arrived, I am done. We crave the peace of the summit. But the greatest warriors, the ones who build legacies that echo for eternity, understand the ultimate truth. There is no summit. There is only the climb. The belief that you have made it is the most dangerous form of complacency. It is the beginning of your next fall. The moment you believe the war is over is the moment you become a casualty. The comeback is not a single heroic story in the middle of your life. It is not a chapter. The comeback is the entire book. It is the process. It is the way you must live your life from this day forward. You must understand that the journey is not a straight line from rock bottom to a single glorious peak. It is an infinite cycle. It is a cycle of discipline, followed by victory, followed by the subtle creep of comfort, which leads to a small slip, a minor setback. And that setback is a call to arms for a new, smaller, smarter comeback. The goal is not to achieve a state of permanent, unbroken success. That is a fantasy. The goal is to become a master of the comeback itself. The goal is to shorten the distance of your falls. It is to recognize the moment you begin to slip, the moment you compromise a standard or accept an excuse, and to launch your next comeback instantly, before you find yourself back in a valley. The first comeback, the one from rock bottom, was a brutal all-out war. The comebacks that will follow are the swift, precise actions of a master surgeon, correcting the course, cutting away the weakness before it can metastasize. This requires the final evolution of your identity. You are not a man who had a comeback. You are a man in a state of constant, perpetual comeback. This is the identity of the lifelong warrior, the eternal student. You are never done. There is always a higher standard to reach. There is always a new weakness to conquer. There is always a more effective way to serve. This mindset is the ultimate antidote to the poison of ego. The man who believes he has arrived is arrogant, brittle, and blind to his own vulnerabilities. He is easy to break, but the man who knows he is always climbing is humble. He is hungry. He is anti-fragile. He embraces the mantra, day one, every day, not just as a tactic for the beginning of his journey, but as the core philosophy for his entire life. And this brings us back, full circle, to the title of this entire journey. The comeback is personal. We now understand its true, final meaning. It is personal, because the war against your own weakness, your own comfort, your own complacency, that war never ever ends, and you are the only soldier who can fight it. It is personal, because your ultimate reward is not the applause of the crowd, the respect of your peers, or the accumulation of wealth. The ultimate reward is the quiet, internal, unshakable peace that comes from knowing that you are in a constant state of becoming better. The joy is not in the prize, it is in the process. And it is personal, because your legacy will not be a static monument of what you achieved. Your legacy will be the dynamic, living example of a life lived in the relentless, honorable, and beautiful pursuit of your own potential. You will teach your children and the world, not by showing them a trophy on a shelf, but by letting them watch you continue to climb, long after everyone else would have stopped. And so we are at the end of this conversation, but at the beginning of your real life. The entire journey has been laid out before you. From the ashes of rock bottom, where you made a choice, to the forging of a contract, where you made a promise, to the war of attrition, where you built the chain of discipline, to the weaponizing of your vision, where you found your fuel, to the arena, where your strength was tested, to the tribe, where you were sharpened, to the mission of legacy, where you found your purpose, and now to this final understanding that this is not a story to be remembered. It is a life to be lived. The alarm clock will ring tomorrow morning. The darkness will be waiting. The choice will be there, as it always is. The choice between the man you were and the man you are still fighting to become. The war is never over, and that is the greatest gift of all. Now go and live it.